Just before we start, right, one more thing. This video will be very long. It's not a short video for 10-15 minutes. It's maybe more than that. I hope it will be more than that. So please start with that objective that you will be learning something today and you are ready to give that time for your own benefits. Okay, let's start. So what we'll be learning today? So these are the key things which we'll be learning today. So comprehensive overview means we'll be learning about that Ollama platform. We'll be learning about the key features of Ollama. We'll be learning how Ollama works internally. We'll see how to install and set up Ollama, and then we'll be seeing how to use it programmatically. So our first slide is local AI demystified. So Ollama is a open source AI platform actually that enables us to run large language models means LLMs locally. Till now we only heard about LLMs. LLMs are very expensive. They runs on a big machines which is very out of our reach. Like we cannot have them locally. That's what we knew. But Ollama made this possible for us to see the taste means to have the taste of this local means large language models locally. So that's what Ollama supports actually. So unlike cloud-based AI services, Ollama emphasizes privacy control and cost efficiency. So obviously we are running it in locally, so we are not going to hit any cloud services and not going to pay any cost for it. We don't even need internet to run it. And then this is very accessible for students, developers, researchers, right? Whoever wants to know about LLMs, how LLMs works, and without hitting the cloud services, this can be done in our local machine. So at its heart, Ollama acts as a runtime environment for large language models. So what it provides a command line interface. So we can use Ollama using a command line interface, or it can also provide, it basically it provides another GUI, right? So graphical user interface for Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. A model packaging system that simplifies downloading, running, and switching between LLMs. So it basically a container for a model or multiple models. So if we have good enough memory in our machine and good enough storage in our machine, we can install basically more than one LLMs through Ollama. And we can switch it like at a runtime we can say, okay, I want to mount language 1 and then use it. Okay, then I want to dismount language 1 and I want to mount language 2 and use it. So those things we can do, and we'll see this in through this video how we can do that. But for this particular slide, the main concept of Ollama is it's a platform which is running or which is allowing us to run LLMs locally, and it gives a command line interface and a GUI. Key features. Local model execution, obviously this is what is the key feature for Ollama, right? That we can learn a language means LLMs locally. That's key and it's a huge feature, right? It's beyond our imagination that we are running LLMs locally. Why it matters: ensure full control of your data, reduce dependency on external providers, works even when you are offline. So these are the benefits and features. Example how we can run it. So we'll see all these commands later part of the video, but we can just run Ollama run llama 3. So llama 3 is the model, so we are asking, this is a command actually, we'll be explaining it later. We are asking Ollama to run this llama 3, and what it will do, if this model is not already installed in our machine, it will first install it, mount it, and then it will use it. if it is already use it, it means if it is already installed in our machine, it will just mount it and use it. So this is a sample example, and we'll be seeing them more and more in this video. More key features, privacy and security first, of course, right? We are not connecting to cloud, so we are not passing our informations to clouds for anyone to take it from us. So why it matters? Obviously, sensitive data means scared to pass to the cloud, right? To get it leaked. So this way, Ollama is secure. It's running in our machine without an internet. Example, yeah, a hospital could use Ollama internally to test AI medical assistant without exposing patient records to third-party APIs. So yeah, we need not to call any third-party APIs. Everything can stay locally in our machine. So that's the security. Ollama and supported models. So these are the main supported models, but nowadays it has added lot more models. We'll be seeing them in the later part of the video, the exact number of models Ollama supports. But these are the main models Ollama supports. So these fast Llama 2, Llama 3, etc. These are means Llama language models is from Meta, means Facebook, and then we have Mistral, Gamma model is from Google. So these are like, open models. These are free models. So we can use through Ollama. These models we can mount in our machine and then we can use it. We have DeepSeek, and there are many other open source models. So these are all about the models Ollama support. Now, very important piece of the information here, how Ollama works. So model packaging, right? It's basically kind of a Docker. It's kind of a container where it contains the models and we can use as a container. So Ollama treats each model as a self-contained packages. So Ollama can have means we can have multiple models in our Ollama, and it will keep it under a separate package, each model, and we can use it. So like similar to Docker image, you can pull Ollama and run Ollama models. So basically Ollama pull Llama 3, it will mount, it will load the model, and then if I say Ollama run Llama 3, it will run the model, and then we can ask any questions. We can share the prompt and it will do like what it does in ChatGPT or OpenAI. Same thing. This packaging makes it very it's easy to share, update, and reproduce environments across machines. Local runtime engine. So it's basically work as a runtime environment or a local runtime engine. It manages model weights, billions of parameters, tokenizer. So what it manages, it manages basically the model. It manages a tokenizer and inference engine where it talks to the LLMs and generates the predictions from tokens. Example, Ollama run Mistral means we are asking Ollama to run this model Mistral. This launches the Mistral LLM inside Ollama's runtime, ready to accept user input. So this is how Ollama works. Means whenever we ask or we give this command Ollama run Mistral, it's basically load this or mount this Mistral model in its runtime environment and allow us to pass our tokens, means our uh, chats or prompts to this Mistral model, and it interacts with Mistral models through our inference engine, and it generates the predictions, means a response, and return it back. Now inference pipeline, what happens in the inference pipeline, how it works, right? So first thing is tokenization. Whatever we write or we pass as a prompt to Ollama, it converts it into tokenization. Means it converts it into tokens through the tokenization process. So this is actually happens whenever we pass something to chat gpt, that also does the same thing, and Ollama also does it for us. So it's use the tokenization process, and whatever we enters or we chat or we pass as a prompt, it creates a numeral tokens. Then it's use a context handling, so it can remember on what context we are talking about, so the next question cannot be irrelevant, right? So if I'm asking about, say, US president something, uh, say we are asking that what's happening in US today, then if I asking that, so it gives a response back for that first prompt, right? And then I ask, like, what's US president's take on that. So it will understand that, or if I say what president's take on that, so it will have a context that the first question was asked on US news. So it will figure out that, okay, the president is no one else but US president. So that's the context handling this Ollama also does. Then model inference, it uses CPU or GPU to predict next token step by step. So basically this is the LLM, which or it's a model which it's used through CPU or GPU from our computer. So it's used this model inference. Then decoding, when we get the tokens back, it's changed the tokens back to human readable text. So that also it does decoding. Next is streaming output. So once it's decoding, it can use a streaming output, like instead of showing the whole output at a time, and means instead of doing that, it can uh, convert that text by text as a stream, and like chat gpt, it can respond like, word by word. So that's the streaming output. Hardware optimization, CPU support, it works on most laptops and desktops. It just need I think 8 GB of RAM and maybe 16 GB of uh, storage. So it needs basically 3 to 5 GB of storage to store one of the at least one model. So we need to have more than that storage in that machine, and I think at least 8 GB of RAM. So that's how it supports CPUs. GPU accelerations, it supports GPU acceleration as well. Resource tuning, uh, we can tune Ollama to configure context length, temperature. Context length means how many mm, uh, uh, chat history it will store in its context, right? The context length, and then temperature and top p. This temperature and top p actually helps us to increase the creativity of the response or the authenticity of the response. Means if I ask about aeroplane, it should not tell about dogs, right? So that's how it will be relevant. Our response should be relevant to what question we are doing. That's what temperature and top p maintains. So basically this Ollama also maintain this to balance speed, memory, and creativity. Interfaces. So what kind of interfaces it supports? It supports CLI, command line interface, which we'll be seeing when this at the end of the video. And GUI, it has GUI for Windows, Linux, and OS. So we'll be seeing that as well. And this endpoint API, this is very important. This endpoint API is nothing but API, right? Which we have already learned. So programmatically, if we want to uh, call Ollama services, right, as a service, so then we can use this post call or get call. This endpoint we can use. So Ollama runs in our local machine 11,434 port. So this is the default port for Ollama. So it runs in a localhost. So this will be the endpoint API and generate. This endpoint we need to use if we want to use Ollama programmatically, which we'll be seeing in our next video when we'll be doing means we'll be writing programs and see how we can interact with Ollama programmatically. Model management, Ollama provides commands like list, update and delete models. So list actually show what all models are available or whatever models we have installed in our local machine. So that we can see through list. We'll be seeing these commands in details after a few slides. And then update we can update Ollama, and then delete we can delete some models as well. Update we can update a model, and delete using delete command we can delete that model from our machine. Means say if we have installed 4 or 5 models and we are seeing that it has taken lots of memory in our machine, then we want to delete couple of models, right? Then we can use this delete model and uh, we can use this delete model and delete that model. Now the update model, how it is important. So say year back we installed a model in our machine locally, right? And since this is a local machine, right, and it that model might have been updated with newer data, but since we installed it 1 year back, our model was not updated. So what we can do, we can use this update model to update that model. Models are stored locally, so you decide which to keep or remove. Yes, that's what I just explained. Switching between models is as simple as changing the name of in a command. Exactly. So, example, Ollama run phi3. So if I do that, it will run the phi3 model. So if phi3 model is already installed, it will run that model. If it is not installed, it will first install and then it will use it. And then in the next line, if we write Ollama run llama 3, then it will mount llama 3 and it will use llama 3. Integration with AI ecosystem. So AI ecosystems is very vast. So at this point, Ollama supports LangChain, Llama Index, Hugging Face, and custom scripts. So LangChain is kind of a chaining mechanism where we can take one input and can use one output and take that as an input for a different step or different what should I say flow. So this is how we use LangChain. Is very useful. So Llama actually Ollama supports this. Llama Index also it supports Hugging Face. So these are the ecosystem it supports. So basically, if we want to do some learning steps, we can easily do it using Ollama without paying a single penny in cloud interfaces. Developer can use Ollama as a drop-in replacement for cloud APIs. Exactly, that's what it is for. So we don't need to call OpenAI models. Instead of that, we can call our local models using Ollama. And Ollama, as we already have learned, it's work as a container for models. Enables offline AI applications such as chatbots, summarizers, and agents. So we'll be seeing in future videos all these things, that how we can use Ollama to create a chatbot or an AI agent. Privacy and offline operations, since all computations happens locally, no data is sent to the cloud, works without internet access, of course. Now installation and step up setup process, this is very important. So I'll try to write these commands in video description section. So if you need them readily, you can visit the video description section and copy it from there. But to understand, let me explain what these are. So for Mac OS, if we are using Homebrew, I generally do use Windows machine. So this is for Mac OS, and if we use Homebrew, so this will be the command. to install Ollama, brew install Ollama, and then start the server. So this is the command Ollama serve. So this is basically a very generic command to start the server. And brew services start Ollama for brew, home brew. Ollama serve is a standard way to run the API server. Yes. So Ollama serve is basically enabling us to use the Ollama through HTTPs, means through APIs. Still we are on macOS. How to verify if Ollama has been installed in our machine? We need to run Ollama dash dash version, so it will show us which version of Ollama has been installed, and that will verify the Ollama is in our machine. First model to test Ollama run Llama 3.2. If we do that, it will pull on the first run, then opens a prompt. So because initially there will be no model installed, right? So first time we will run Ollama run any model. This is basically a model name, this one Llama 3.2. So any model, it will first pull the models and install it in our machine, and then it will mount it, means it will run the model. Now how to install and set up in Windows. So if we are using Winget, we can run this command, else we can download that installer and double click and install it in our machine. That way we can easily install. We'll show, basically I'll show it after this slides how to do that. Start and verify. Again, same thing, Ollama version. It will verify us that okay, Ollama, which version of Ollama has been installed. We can do a curl command to see Ollama is running in our local host. Fast model, same thing, Ollama run Llama 3.2. This will first install the model and it will run it. Or we can switch to a new model. We can run Ollama run Gamma, any model name, right? And it will again install and then run that model. This is Linux, the same thing, installation setup process for Linux. I'm not going through each of these things. You can see it here, you can use it. Again, I'll add them in the description section. Verify and test, same thing. This is Docker commands. If you want to use Ollama in a Docker, you can do that. And these are the commands. I'm not going individual commands. I'll again give them in the description section. These are very important. I'll explain them. These are the usage, how to use it. So once we install Ollama locally in command prompt, if we write in Windows, specifically it works for everything, but in Windows, if I write Ollama list, it will give us blank list because there won't be anything installed in it. But if we then type Ollama pool Llama 3.2 and then we'll this Ollama pool Llama 3.2, it will install this Llama 3.2 model in our machine. Then if we run this Ollama list, it will show that Llama 3.2 is already installed in our machine. Then we can pull as many as models by this command, Ollama pool command. Then chat command, if we want to chat with Ollama, we just need to say Ollama run and then the model name. So it will create a chat prompt. It will enable a chat prompt for us where we can prompt it, or else we can in a single command we can write like Ollama run Llama 3.2 dash p is a prompt. We can pass whatever prompt we want to do. That will also work. And this is the way we can learn about the model we have installed or we want to install whatever model. If we want to see the model metadata, means want to know about that model, how big it is, its specifications and all, we can do Ollama show the model name and it will give us the metadata of the model. Programmatically, so this is how programmatically we'll be using Ollama. So this is a call command. where we are saying HTTP localhost port API generate. So this is the endpoint basically, and we are saying that model name is whatever the model name we want to use, and then the prompt. So using this in a Postman also, we can hit our local Ollama and run it. So as simple as this. This is upgrading and uninstalling. So if we want to upgrade Ollama or uninstall it, so these are the commands. Now at the end, we are at the end of the video at this point. So we are basically need to see the pros and cons of Ollama. So the pros: runs locally, full privacy and offline use. Obviously, we already have learned it. But the cons is requires strong hardware for larger models. Means the smaller model is okay, but if you want to learn, if you want to install a large model, right, we need a strong hardware for that. Free and open source, obviously no subscription fees. That's a pros. And because of our laptops and desktops are not that high graded, we do not have that high graded CPUs and GPUs, right? So it will be performance will be very slow. The third one is wide model support. Yeah, it supports lots of models. So I think if we use Llama or DeepSeek, it's good enough for our educational purpose. Means whatever we want to do, we can do that. The cons is limited ecosystem by versus cloud AI. So yeah, obviously OpenAI, which is a subscription based, gives lots more features, lots more bigger LLMs and more performance oriented LLMs, which we get in cloud like OpenAI and Gemini. Cross platform, yes, it supports Windows, Mac OS, Linux, Docker. Limited multimodal support, vision still evolving. So yeah, there is a limited multimodal support is there. Flexible interfaces, we have CLI, GUI, local APIs. No cloud scalability support. Obviously it's not cloud based, so there is no cloud scalability support is there, and we don't need that. Actually, I don't want to agree this one as a cons. Basically this is a pros, because we can use it locally. Works with LangChain, Llama Index, Hugging Face. Okay, so I think this cons is against this one. Uh, Works with LangChain, Llama Index. So basically, what it's saying that it's only supports a very few of the tools, but it doesn't support cloud-based scalability. Optimized for Apple Silicon and GPU acceleration. That is good. High resource usage. So yeah, it needs a high resource, means RAM and power, and it generates lots of hits if we use high-end LLMs. So that's it. But I think cons are very limited rather than the pros are huge. Okay, so this is me again. If you want to know about me, so this is the slide for me. Means slide about me, and then now let's move to see how to install Ollama and how to use it. So this is you just need to type ollama.com, so you will be here in Ollama. And then if you want to know about the models, you can see all the models. So DeepSeek R1, so these are the models: Gamma 3, Llama 3.1, Llama 3.2. It gives us all the details, like 1 billion parameters, 3 billion parameters. So this model is available in two different parameter levels: 1 billion parameters, 3 billion parameters. So these are Mistral. These are all the model lists. So it supports huge sets of models. So means we can get whatever we want, but the limitation is our machine. Our machine should be very high-ended machine to use a higher model, or else we have to stick to lower-ended models. So this is turbo. For this we have to means this is turbo means we if we use it we'll get faster. It works with a faster hardware, and this is basically a turbo mode means it will gives us very cloud kind of similar to like what we get in cloud based platforms. It gives the similar outputs turbo, but it has like $20 monthly fees with it. Now download, if we want to download, so based on we can click download, and based on our machines, so in Windows we can download the installer in Windows, and you see it's downloading the installer. And it's simple. Once the installer gets downloaded, you just double click install it. So once you install it, you can let me open this commands, and then I'll be showing you. So in command prompt, you open the command prompt and you write Ollama dash dash version. It shows whatever version it is. If we want to upgrade the version, we can upgrade it. At this point, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to see what all commands are available in Ollama. So if I just type Ollama, and then it will give me all the commands, available commands. So serve, basically it starts Ollama. If I enter serve, it will start Ollama, which is already there. Create, show, run, stop, pull, push, list, remove, copy, all these things, all the commands are there. And this is, once you install Ollama, you will also see this one, which is a GUI. So this is a GUI, and you see, okay, let's do one thing. Uh, this will be interesting. Let's see what all uh, models are installed. So Ollama list. If I type this one, it will show me what all models I have installed. So now if I want to use a different model, I can do that, but let me run. See what if I do Llama 2, Ollama run Llama 2 now, which is not installed. So Llama 3 has been installed, but if I do Ollama run Llama 2, it is pulling, you see, it is pulling that because this model is not there already. So it is pulling that model and then it is installing, but I don't want to spend 3.8 GB of my memory. So I will moving out of this, Control C, and I will run the model which I have already installed. So Ollama run, this model I have installed already, so I will install this one. So now if I type this one, see it mounted that model and it's running that model and asking me for a prompt. So I can write who is the current who is the current US president. So see, this model is old. So this, what it says that last time it was updated was on December 2023. So he don't know who is the current US president, and he says according to him, Joe Biden was the president at that time, right? So that's what he explains. So we are seeing this in CLI, how to use it, and if we want to move to a different model, we just can type by and we'll be out of that model. Now we can use a different model and we can run this again. Ollama run, and then the other model was what, this one. So I can do this model and I can, wow, does not support generate. Oh, this model is something which doesn't support a generate uh, call, so it won't work. But yeah, now we know, right? We can mount any model from that list of models whatever we have seen, and we can use it. I'll also show you how to use it here. So if I use any other model, say gamma 3 gamma 3, and I ask same thing, same behavior we'll be seeing here. Who is the US president? And if you see, it's downloading that model because that model is not there. But I don't want to use 3 GB of my memory, so I'll stop it and I'll choose whatever model is already installed. I'll choose llama 3.2 3 billion model, 3 billion parameter model. So llama 3.2 3 billion model, this model is already installed. So if I now ask something, it won't install that model. So I can ask the same question again. And it is generating a response locally. But the magic is it's happening all locally and I do not need to have an internet connection. But I'm getting a same LLM experience locally in my machine without hitting OpenAI or any other cloud-based services. So this is it for today's video. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel. So again and again, right, until unless you guys subscribe my channel, I won't get motivated to keep doing these videos. So please try to help me by subscribing my channel and share it with your friends if you think these videos are with any values. I think these are with values. These videos are a little bit longer, but if you complete these videos, you will be learning a lot. So if you think it can help your friends and families, please share across with your friends and please stay with me. Thanks. Bye.